Hey, all right. Yeah. Well, let's see how far this goes because last time I tried using my big computer, didn't work too good. Because it ended up crashing like 6 times before I could actually do an actual video. So, anyway, how's it going, everybody? Um, Doing a little bit better here. For those who didn't know, I had broken my arm in February. This one, to be exact. Yeah, it seems fine to me, but I still wear this thing. But um, yeah. So what has been going on? Well, I know I talked a lot about the Honda, um, and I know I mentioned it in a previous video. The Honda is no longer with me. Um, I couldn't take how small it was. I should have known that when I bought it, but it was a do or die kind of thing because I had before I had a Kia Spectra, and yeah, let's not go into that disaster. Granted, the Kia did have 80,000 miles on it, original, and it was '02. It had 80,000 original miles. Everything worked minus the AC, but the Honda had working AC and a sunroof and a stereo that worked. Well, the stereo on the Kia worked, but it had a CD player. But long story short, I drove the car for a little over a year. It was a 2006 Honda Civic EX in what's it called, dark pewter. It was a two-door, which great car. It was decent. Never had any real trouble with it. I mean, other than brake issues, alignment issues. But what are you going to do? It's general maintenance. Anyway, well, long story short, I traded it in because it was just way too small for what I needed. I loved it. It was a great little car. It held its own, even with me bashing on it constantly. Every day it started up and ran, no problems. It did everything I needed it to do and then some. But I couldn't stand how small it was. Um, for those who do know me in a personal level, I do conventions for anime, like lots of them. Um, Taking that car to an anime convention and spending 3 days running around the convention and buying stuff and receiving things and carrying not only luggage but your costumes and stuff like that. By the end of the convention, on one occasion, this car was so packed full that I couldn't see out the back window. So I definitely needed something bigger. So what did I do? I traded it for a 2005 Pontiac Grand Prix GT. It's a GT2. It is in garnet red. It has charcoal leather interior with heated seats. It's got everything the Honda had minus an auxiliary port. The Honda also did not have dual zone climate control, which this one does. It also did not have remote start. Remote start was a cool option. I didn't even know I needed it until I have it. So it is a beautiful car. I will have to get a picture or something soon to show you, but it's got a lot less miles than the Honda. The Honda, when I traded it in, had 212,000 miles. This Grand Prix, and I know the Grand Prix have with the 3.8. And this one has the 3.8 or the 3800 Series 3. The 3.8s are good for well over 400 plus thousand miles. So it runs strong, it shifts good, it drives beautifully, it stops on a dime. It has the Monsoon Premium sound system, which I can actually hear. Has a sunroof. Uh, I'll get to that later, but I did have because I live in the Midwest. We have been getting a lot of rain, and one day I ended up with a wet butt. Why? Because the sunroof decided to spring a leak, and I found out what it was. It was just a clogged tube, but still, it's whatever. It's fixed. Um, I also spent 1,000 less on this car than I did the last one. So this car, I spent quite a bit less money, which I want to take that savings and put it towards upgrades. I definitely want tinted windows because the AC system in that thing rocks. But it's like a fishbowl. It gets hot, especially with the dark leather seats. Like I said, it's got the Monsoon Premium sound system, which has the 6-disc in-dash changer, which is cool. Except all my music is right here. So having to put all that on CD is kind of nerve-wracking. Counting there is an FYE not too far from me, which is basically a music and video store. So I can go in there and get all the music I want, but I would rather have my Bluetooth because it's a little bit more convenient. And that doing this while driving is not cool. So I'm looking into getting a smart stereo for it, like one of those Android Auto decks for it. It's going to be nice. What is wrong with the car right now? Right now, it has a coolant leak. It's I'll go through about a third of a gallon of coolant every week, which I know what it is, and it's not what everybody will think it is. It's not the intake gaskets. The car runs way too good for that. Usually when the intake gaskets, the lower intake manifold gaskets, decide to blow or go bad, it will smoke, it will lose power, and it will run like total dog's ass. This has none of that. It runs really clean. It runs real strong, and it's smooth as silk. So I know it's about 99% chance it's these little plastic coolant elbows. On those, they tend to break, and they're plastic. So you can get aluminum replacements, or I think, yeah, they're aluminum. You can get aluminum replacements and put in it, and it'll be 100% perfect for as long as you own a car. I had those in the Regal, and I highly suggest if you're going to get one and they still have the plastic elbows, to replace them with the metal ones. What happened to the car about a week after I got it? I've had it a little under a month. It's been a great car so far. I've put about 4,000 miles on it. Within those first 4,000 miles, let's see. When I bought the car, it had the ABS light on. The ABS light and the traction control light, which is a really easy fix. It's a general wheel bearing. Easy. With my broken arm, I couldn't do it, so I asked my roommate to help me fix it. He sure did. I was helping my roommate renew the license plates on his car, so, he works weird hours. He gave me the money to get his car re-registered, and I went to go do that for him. Well, long story short, I got it done, and I was pulling out of the lot, and I lost all power. I'm talking like it had redlined, the speedometer go clear over to 140, and I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Well, I had enough momentum to pull it into a parking lot, and I set the parking brake, left it in drive, popped the hood, and I was watching the passenger drive shaft spin. And I'm like, great. So thank God for AAA. They come and got me pretty quickly and got me home. Well, that night I took a roommate's car that I the plates renewed. I took the roommate's car, went and bought a half shaft, two wheel bearings, all four brakes, and I did not get the thing that's important now, which I should have, but I didn't. So whatever. But it's fixed now. It's been great ever since. Of course, the people who had it before me, the wheel bearing had an error, so they unplugged it, which was stupid because if you unplug the wheel bearing, it throws the lights. Well, if you throw the light,